going to do a teardrop with the candy cane boards. Okay, y'all. So check this out. As you can see, we've got some goodies, but we're going to do this together. I didn't plan this out because I kind of wanted y'all to learn the process and beginning to plan things out with ties and stuff. So I thought I'd show you my process kind of thing from start. Okay? So the first thing that we want to do is we want to put our boards together. So the nice thing about these boards is they're flat and it'll be pretty easy to line up. So I'm going to tell you what I did learn so far is that you want to line up the bottom first. Don't worry about the top. You want to line up the bottom first. Okay? And there's one hole direct center that lines up. So we're going to zip tie that one first. And we're going to kind of leave that just, there we go. All right. Okay, so now we're going to go into the top because this will still move. See, it still moves. Whoa, which is, you know, cool. All right, so this still moves. So now we're going to line the top up. And I'm going to put 3 zip ties at the top. So that it will be good and secure. All right, everybody with me so far? Now, I keep some bigger gauge zip ties around for when I'm putting my boards together because there's going to be more weight on this than just the mesh. So with the smaller zip ties, it's okay to me. But when you go to use bigger weight, you know, I have thicker, stronger zip ties that I use. And the same thing for when I'm attaching those to my wreath. All right, so let's grab some pipe cleaners and get ready to load our board. And like I said, I have no idea how I'm going to load this per se. Because, like I said, I wanted you to see my thought process to do this. And I thought my thought process would help you when you're trying to figure out new stuff to put your ties in, things like that. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I choose a starting point with my zip ties. So it's actually, to me, really important that we have a piece of mesh down here at the bottom. So since that's really important that we have one piece of mesh down here at the bottom to keep the teardrop shape, so that's where I'm going to put my first zip tie first and foremost. Or my pipe cleaner, sorry. So after I put this one in, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to measure. A good guideline for how far apart you want your mesh to lay is 5 inches. 5 inches is a great guideline. Okay, you can go like under 5 inches, but you really want to go 5 inches. So what I'll do is I'll take where this is, and then I'm going to measure 5 inches. So that would be basically right here, and depending where I put my ties. So if I go over this hole, this one would be 5 inches, but I'm going to start back here so I have a nice layer of mesh. All right, so that's where we're going to start by putting our pipe cleaner in. Y'all need me to zoom in. I'm sorry. Let me zoom in a little bit. How about that? Because y'all probably can't see the holes and everything. I'm sorry. I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to start at this one, which is row 15, I think. Yep, 15. So then after that, every other at that point, if you skip 2, that's going to be about 5 inches. So that's what I'm going to do. And so we're going to cross our fingers and hope that this will nicely get all the way around the board. If it doesn't, we just kind of got to rethink the process, y'all, and it's not that big of a deal. I'm skipping 2. Skip to the loo, my darling, and it looks like it's gonna almost be, it almost worked out, y'all. So since that didn't work out that way, sadly, what we'll do is we'll just kind of back up and just go across the hole and see what happens at the top. Because when the curve happens, you kind of need more mesh at the top. So we'll just see what happens here. So what we're going to do, because the curve happens at the top, is we'll just skip one hole at the top. So that's what we'll do to make this work. Oh, I did. Thank you for catching me. Thank you. I'm glad you caught that. Two. Yep, I got it now. So there we go. Thank y'all for catching that. I appreciate that. All right, everybody see that? So that's our start. Thank y'all for catching that. I appreciate that. When I tie my pipe cleaner, y'all, I tie it over the hole because I don't want it too far out to the outside. So when I tie my pipe cleaner, I'm coming like directly over the hole. Okay, so now we got to deal with the inside. Now on the inside, the holes are actually closer together. All right, because as the arch comes, so I'm going to start at the top with this, and I'm going to take a look and make my plan. Normally, I would like to go between, but it's kind of odd. So I think we kind of will. So what I'm looking at, y'all, is this mesh here will overlap. So I'm giving this to y'all play by play, the thought process. This mesh will overlap, so I don't really need any pipe cleaners here. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to start with my pipe cleaners here. Yep. And then we'll see how this turns out. It's a thought process, y'all. And that didn't work out. Let me make sure I skipped every two. I did. So let's do this. Let's back up one. Let's do this, y'all. Let's use this as a joint hole right there. And put one piece of mesh there. Back up here. Did I miss a hole, y'all? I skipped every two. We still aren't even. So let's back up one more. And just go across from each other. All right. So now you know the thought process that some of us go through when we're teaching you the tutorials to I kind of don't like the ribbon being across from each other, y'all, because that was one of the fun things about the Unique and the Creek boards. I really don't like them being across from each other, y'all. I really don't. Okay, we're just going to leave this. Where there's one hole skipped, and I'm going to tell you why, because this is across from each other. It just worked out that way, that they are sitting across from each other. Let's just double check my work here, make sure I did every other hole real quick. Y'all take a look. Did I do good? I got every other hole except for this one, because they're actually across from each other, which I think will be okay down at the bottom. I don't think we need this pipe cleaner, but I'm just going to leave it in. All right. So now we need how many pieces of mesh? 17 pieces of mesh. Okay. So we're going to use emerald green mesh And I'm going to cut it 25 inches. On this, the way that I'm doing it, this is going to be the top. Because it's a teardrop. So, not like this. We're going to do it like this. And I'm going to zoom out now. Okay. So, per usual, scoot over mesh. We're going to roll our mesh up so so we don't get any frays. And while I'm doing this, normally, y'all, I would go around, but I'm going to go left to right so I can double check my tie placement as I go. Well, it's still a teardrop shape. Okay, so I was right. We don't need this pipe cleaner. So I am going to take it out. So it'll be 16 pieces of mesh. Just to show you, I'm taking this pipe cleaner out. We don't need it. So I'll hold that up again for y'all. If those of you that take screenshots. Okay, you see this right here, y'all? This is kind of like, I don't like this. Do you see how this gaps right here and it loses its shape? Okay. Now this should round it more out. And then I'll flip it over so for those of you that take screenshots can update it. That's better. Smoother. Okay, so that's smoother. Now we got our teardrop shape going on. Okay. So let me flip this back over for those of you that take screenshots to put your pipe cleaners in. Okay. Now let's put our mesh in the middle. Y'all, this mesh is so thick, so like I love this mesh. It's amazing. Okay, so 17 pipe cleaners, y'all, is what we ended up using. Look how pretty that is now, y'all. It was worth the effort. Look how that turned out. Now that we have our recipe for laying down our ties. All right, so let me flip this over. All right. Okay. Whew. Okay. Y'all, I have some beautiful silver and red velvet ribbon. So I'm just going to use the outside ties for this. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, yes. So we need 11 pieces of ribbon. And we're going to cut it 14 inches. This ribbon, y'all, is really thick, so the reason I'm not using anything to help me cut it is because it's really thick and I'd end up with a lot of wasted ribbon, and I don't want that. I have a question for y'all while I'm cutting ribbon and getting things ready for that. If you were going to take a vacation in the winter, but you didn't want to go far, where would you go? Alright, y'all, this ribbon is so thick and luxurious. We're just going to put one in each tie. And by the way, in case y'all didn't know, Lori has an excellent selection of velvet ribbon in stock. Look at that, y'all. That is so pretty. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to put the bow on. And the bow came with wire, and I don't like it. So we're going to fix that real quick. We're crafters, y'all. I really don't need them to put things on for it to attach. I have wire, I have pipe cleaners, I have my whole arsenal of stuff. I did not make this bow. My bows are, if do y'all want to, okay, so this is one of the bows that is being made by Ferrosilk ribbon, I believe. Do y'all want to see what one of my bows looks like next to it and compare it? I'll show y'all. I just happen to have a bow upstairs. So I just happen to have a Thanksgiving bow up here. Now theirs is a little bit bigger, but that's fine. Mine is $15 cheaper. Their edge is wired. Okay. Mine is wired throughout. So they both are going to fluff up nicely. As you can see. So, like I said, mine's just a little bit smaller. But mine's also very well made, just like theirs. $15 cheaper. Really not much. Mine are sewn. Theirs are sewn. All right, so we're going to put our bow all the way up at the top, y'all. We're going to slam this thing all the way up at the top. I feel like I need another pipe cleaner. The bow is tilting back. Hold on, y'all. I don't like that it's tilting back. I really don't like that it's tilting back. Meet Jackie, the picky wreath maker. Alright, that solved it. I just don't want my bow tilting off, y'all. I don't want it tilting back. Y'all know what I mean? There we go. Okay, so let's put the first gem on. Okay, so I wanted the green one to go right here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put the green one on first to go with my plan. It's probably going to... There it goes. So these gems have a little bit of weight to it, so I was expecting it to slide. Okay, so what we have here is a ribbon that actually matches this bow. Okay, so we're going to kind of try to match this bow up here just a little bit. So check this out, what we're going to do. Except for in a smaller version. So we're going to cut a 14-inch tail. Follow me here, y'all. That is blingy. Okay, so we cut a 14-inch, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this right there in the middle for 7 inches, y'all, because I don't know quite how big I want my loop to be just yet. So that's how big I want my loop to be. Like I said, we're kind of making a miniature bow here, so that's how big I want my loop to be. So now I'm going to flip this over. Let go. Ugh. So far, so good. Everybody still with me here? All right, so we're going to go up in size. So this one, we're going to go 16 inches. And then this time, let's go through the jewel to attach the bow first. I think, is that all the way? It is. I was hoping that I wouldn't have to do what I might have to do, y'all, but we'll see. Let me see if I can get this to hang where I want it to hang. Oh, here, my pipe cleaner. Okay, that is not going the way that I wanted it to. At all. Because I didn't want this much distance between the two at all. Not even close, y'all. So, there is a plan B. Always have a plan B, y'all. I had one just in case. And it just occurred to me, I probably should take these off before I cover them up. Y'all ever twist your pipe cleaners together and you can't figure out how to untwist them? That's me at this second. If I had like a more of a if I had a sign or something, wouldn't be an issue, but it's an elegant wreath, so we don't really want a sign on it. Okay. Backup plan is in effect. Not a problem, y'all. We're just going to add a rectangle board to the back to get these exactly where I want. And I don't think that's the end of the world, y'all. I was just kind of hoping I wouldn't have to. So, but I thought, kind of figured I would. But it's kind of like this. These boards are like, what, $2.25 each? I'm going to take $2.25 and make my wreath beautiful. Y'all know what I mean? And then that way everything gets exactly where I want it. There, that's better. Y'all see how important that was? To move the pieces. That looks so much better getting them closer together. I think I'm going to take that bow off for a reason, y'all. And I would also recommend to y'all, if you get these gems, this would be the only time I recommend it, y'all, so listen up. I would get some cable tie mounts and some E6000 to fix that kind of thing. Alright, so let's go underneath here, y'all. We're going underneath the bow to start. And we're going to pull both of our ribbons together. And what we're going to do is we're going to come into the center tie. In the center that's underneath. Kind of like the green gem. Like so. I took it off because I moved everything up. And now I'm going to put a bow down here at the bottom. Alright, so once again, we're going to come up underneath the bow. And tie our ribbon in. And then we want this side to kind of match just like we did the other side. So we're going to the pipe cleaner underneath toward the center. Okay. since I brought it out, I'm just letting y'all know, can't really put this ribbon in a bow maker. It's too thick. So y'all are about ready to see me make a bow by hand, which is a rare occurrence. Because I have really bad arthritis. Wait a minute, it might fit in one of my bow makers. Hold on. Wait a minute. Y'all see that? I took this loop and I'll hot glue it in later, but I'm just gonna roll that up and use that as a button for in the middle of the bow because I think that looks best. Okay, y'all. So just to be transparent, I don't have it upstairs in my design space yet. But before I post this for sale, I will be adding, because I don't think I have any up here. I will go around and I'm going to add a little bit of greenery to this around the edges with some silver picks, and I just don't think I have any up here. Sometimes, if you sell wreaths, sometimes just go ahead and list it, and then you can always add to it. So I just want to we'll be doing something like this again, except for it will go smoother now that we know. Okay? Because I love doing teardrops. I love doing the oval shapes. Y'all, I love doing them. So we will definitely be doing this again. Just with, and it'll go smoother. Now that we know, probably should add the rail board. For me, the rectangle board, add the rectangle board in the center. If we're not putting a sign, but probably next time I'll be putting a sign. It's not upside down. It's symmetrical. There is no right side, upside down kind of thing. Alright, y'all. By the way, if you don't want to make an elegant one, I'll show y'all an idea. You can make a fun one. Alright. And just for the record, because some people might ask, this ends up being about 31 inches, so that's a really good length. So that makes a really nice size teardrop, y'all. Alright, y'all have a great evening. Bye, y'all.